I literally ran into you for the HateTuber tag though. Oh, why? Can you explain that one? I'll make this relatively short. I'll make this one relatively short. The thing is, I was never supposed to be a VTuber. I only started as a complete joke. I didn't even know what the VTubing community was like. So when I got into VTubing, I thought that it was literally just gonna be like me streaming with just a model because I didn't want to show my face, and that's it, and people would be normal. But if there's one thing that I ended up finding out about is the fact that a lot of people, especially with my voice that I have, which is on the deeper side, I wouldn't say that it's the deepest one, also gonna take a follow. Something that I noticed is a lot of people, what they end up doing is they are really, really used to a community full of not safe for work ASMRs, or just a lot of not safe for work content. And that's something that you can also notice a lot from the jokes that are in the community. And it's getting to a point where something that I noticed is that, hey, it's literally just sex is the joke. That's literally all there is to it. There isn't really much going on, that's about it. And something more that I noticed is that a lot of VTubers that are at the top leverage on this joke, and I really dislike it. Main prime examples would be someone like Vox Akuma, having a lot of not safe for work ASMRs that were obviously always supposed to be completely TOS. They were never supposed to see the light on YouTube, and they were always supposed to be struck down instantly. But the fact that the company, just in general, Nijisanji, greenlit the idea, kind of just goes to show that corpos themselves don't really care about, having the streamer be a normal person. The only thing that they care about is having the streamer just be kind of an item to feed into parasocialism, and at the same time also feed into like markets where, sex makes a lot of money, because at the end of the day, sex sells. And there's also a lot of problems with stuff like parasocialism in the community being extremely rampant, but also promoted by the streamers themselves and the companies themselves. And that's why when I scroll down a lot on my Twitter, on my Twitter bookmarks, I see posts like this one by Nijisanji themselves, or Hololive, sorry, both Nijisanji and Hololive, and you see that they do stuff like this. Commemorative goods, where you can buy merch, and it's not just random merch like a fucking shirt or, a fucking hoodie or anything. No, it's a wedding ring with the name of the liver engraved on it, and also a registration of marriage. This is genuine merch that you can go out of your way to buy. That is furthered a lot by companies. For the simple reason of parasocialism sells. A wedding ring, they still do it. I remember that I already opened on stream the one that they did for this year's Valentine's. This happens extremely often, and it's extremely rampant. Same shit with the K-pop industry, exactly. Something that I noticed about this community is that it's not like every other community I've been to. Every single other community that I've been to, stuff like this would literally get you flamed to no end. But it's very normalized, and I started noticing a lot of this community is very heavy on idol culture. Both Japanese and Korean one. To the point where their idols will never do anything wrong. Their Oshi can never do anything wrong. And also, just, there's multiple things going around of just a lot of not safe for work ASMRs. You see a lot of streams that do ASMR on Twitch from VTubers that do things that are completely TOS. Like whimpering, moaning, whatever. You name it. All stuff that should get you banned. But it never will. For one simple reason. It's normalized. It's so normalized in the community that no one reports it. And no one gets banned. And every time someone ends up getting banned for like a couple days, they will have a meltdown on Twitter saying, well, other streamers do the exact same thing. As if it's an excuse. Their Oshi can never have a life outside of VTubing, can never date. Yeah, exactly. What makes it worse is that you see a lot of VTubers, for example, have, significant others that they have to hide. Because they can never see it, like, they will never be able to show it. Or else, they end up getting doxxed, they end up getting a lot of death threats. Which is just completely not normal at all in this community. And that's why, like, I always try to make Keith, which is my significant other, fiance at this point, like, that when they were over here for like a couple months, I actually tried to make them, relevant part of the stream itself. Because I wanted to, like, try to bring a very strong divide between this is what VTubing is, and this is what my stream is. I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it. I talk about this extremely often, and I talk about how much I dislike it. But until there is change at the top with other streamers that will go genuinely out of their way to try to, you know, break the status quo, break the normality, and stop actually leveraging on the fact that a lot of people will go out of their way to spend $100 a month for a Patreon tier for not safe for work ASMRs, nothing will ever change. And that's why I decided to put the tag as a HateTuber, because, well, it's getting to a point where being classified as a VTuber, it's kind of like a badge of shame. You see a lot of communities with a lot of people outside of VTubing. For example, have you watched the Game Awards? When Iron Mouse was even touted as possibly even winning the Game Awards, which in my opinion she still shouldn't have, but that's a whole different topic altogether. When she was even touted as possibly winning the Game Awards, every single chat that was co-streaming the thing would type, L, what is this dog shit? They're all just a weeb shit. That's the thing. Something that I noticed about like VTubing is that you will always be considered as that weeb shit until there's a streamer that is at the top that will genuinely try to make an effort to bridge the gap. But what happens in VTubing is that a lot of VTubers only collab with VTubers or people from offline TV, which at this point share a lot of the viewership anyways. There needs to be change at the top. And until then, the tag of VTuber will always be looked down upon. That's why I decided to put the HateTuber tag. I need to put the VTuber tag because I need to like have, you know, the fucking, what's it called? The thing there just in case like there's viewers that click on it. But at the same time, HateTuber literally just comes from me severely disliking and hating the status quo that is inside of VTubing at the moment. Of sex is the joke, sex is the content, we maintain the status quo, we change nothing, and VTubing being 80% on Twitter and never going outside. That's pretty much it. This is just the idol community in a nutshell, but so much worse because of the anonymity that comes from being a virtual VTuber. I don't get it. I really don't like it. You have a fiance, not Mayoshi. The thing is, there would genuinely be people out there willing to say that. There would genuinely be people out there genuinely sending me death threats if I had ever leverage into that. But no, something that I realized is that this was happening to me too, funnily enough, of June of last year. I went from averaging 10 to 15 viewers, more or less, to averaging 30 out of nowhere. And a lot of those viewers would end up going in my chat just saying, hey, wow, you have a deep voice. Can you call me a good boy or some bullshit like that? How? What compelled you to say something like that? Other than the fact that you've seen it from a lot of these streamers. Have you ever gone to someone in person and just told them to say the same thing just because I have a deeper voice? No. But the thing is, in VTubing, it's very much normalized for people to keep forgetting that there's a person behind the model and only see the model as, you know, an anime person. And that's it. It's something that I severely dislike, and that's why, like, for example, I even had this as a thing at one point. Where is it? My model. There we go. I even had this as a webcam kind of thing. That in the background right there, that is my actual room. Because I wanted to say, fuck your immersion. Who gives a shit about the immersion? That's it. There is no point in it. I'm a real life human being. You shouldn't feel immersed ever into, you know, a possible thinking that I'm an anime person or whatever. There are some people that do VTubing as an act. That's fine. But if you genuinely go out of your way to ever think of me as nothing more than just an anime person, get the fuck out. I want to be treated like a normal human being, and I want to be treated like a normal person the same way that you would like to be treated like that. And you going out of your way to saying stuff like, oh, but I'd like it if, you know, someone asked me to call me a good boy. That's not an excuse. That's never how it should be. That's all really. That's literally what the HateTuber tag is for though. It just started off as a small joke, but I decided to keep it there because, you know. Yeah. Oh, come on. Did my fucking background music just die? It was so nice. Yeah, it died. I love your voice. Can you moan into your mic? You know what's really funny? I remember that I was actually like playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and there was genuinely a person that did that. There was genuinely a person that went out of their way to say, wow, your voice is really deep. Can you call me a good boy? And everyone in chat was just asking them, why would you? Why would you say that? That is weird. but they genuinely never thought that anything was wrong with that. They never did. And after I actually banned them, they went out of their way to join my Discord server and privately message me, asking, why did I get banned? I thought that this was fine. They were genuinely being honest. And I do not understand how it can ever get this bad. Like, there's a difference between first-time chatters where they just go like, hey, they type something out weird, like, wow, I'm gonna throw a fucking brick at a homeless person. And there's a difference between instantly sexualizing a person just because they don't show their face. Was it a minor or an adult? At this point, it seems like a minor. It 100% was a minor. I didn't even ask because why would I? Something that I realized, especially in VTubing, is that yes, it happens also in other streaming categories where, like, if you're a normal streamer, you will have a lot of your viewers be, like, fucking minors. Kai Sanat is a good example. But then you have other streamers like Asmongold. He may have some brain dead takes, he has some good takes as well, but a lot of his viewership is on the older side. And by older, I mean like 28 and up. And that's why I'm glad that my chat is the way that it is. A lot of my chat is older than I am. I'm 21. 2/3 of my chat is above 25. That makes things a lot easier. I don't have to actually, like, try to act in a way that makes it so that I'm able to actually interact with minors. And at the same time, I'm able to have a stable conversation with people in chat like this, instead of having to think of them as a daycare I need to take care of. I don't want to get there. I don't. And that's why I keep doing my own shit. That's pretty much it.